Happy Saturday, everybody. It is 1 o'clock already, my time, 4 on the East Coast, and today we are having a quarter moon, which is about balance. The moon appears up in the sky, half dark and half light, signaling a time of balance. And I think I'm going to do more of these. I really like the energy. And I looked up, and actually, the moon is in sign of Libra today. So, thankful was here in chat earlier. I hope you still are. It's always nice to see you. Thankful. And yeah, so today I decided to do illumination and shadow readings. I brought my emerald papyrus with me as well, because some of their cards both indicate a illumination and a shadow aspect to them. And for those that don't, I also brought my Colette Baron Reed, which is very much full of light, just glowing, beautiful energy. And I thought it would be a nice companion for today. And there you are. So, for those watching on playback, thank you. Even if it's just a few minutes, if you can hit that like and share button, that would be great. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you subscribe. And I do lots of lives, pop-ups. And so, yeah. So if you subscribe, then you'll know when I go live. I like to do different creative themed shows and readings. And let me adjust my camera here again a little bit. And let me just go ahead and just put the banner up. So I hope you're having a beautiful day so far. Thankful. Any fun plans for you today, or just taking a seat back and chilling? We have beautiful weather today. I went for a walk and the mist was all moving through the mountains, and I got to see that. Wish I could have been walking through those misty mountains, but it was so beautiful to see them off on the trail path that joggers and cyclists and as walkers use. So, getting things started as people come in. Let's see, my day's going well. For the football, yeah. Oh, so disappointed in the Bills, but it is what it is, right? So, but yeah, what an interesting matchup this year. The Packers and the was it the Broncos? No, not the Broncos. Chicago, the Bears. So, I used to be really excited about football, and then I just gave up because I just couldn't handle constantly being let down by my own team. And then I was a fan for a while of the Saints. I loved watching Drew Brees play. Awesome that they won at least one Super Bowl with him. But then I don't know. It seems like whenever I start to watch a team or get behind a team, things start to go downhill. So maybe I'll just watch from the periphery, so to speak. But yeah, today the quarter moon which is how they say it, apropos, because it's in the sign of Libra. So the quarter moon is half dark, half light. Remind us to reflect on having balance in our life at this time. And Libra is the balance, the scales of the zodiac, symbolizing, of course, harmony, balance, relationships. Got my little cheat sheet thing over here on my phone. Ruled by Venus, the planet of love and beauty. And the typical dates for a Libra is September 23rd to October 22nd. And of course, the sign is represented by scales, symbolizing justice and balance, fairness and harmony in relationships. So I'm not going to go down too much because we're going to be focusing on the illumination, and shadow aspects of this quarter moon. Yeah, their personality traits really quick are diplomatic, charming, idealistic, indecisive. I have to look to see if I've got that in my chart because I can be very indecisive just as, Hannah! Oh my God! Guten Abend, my dear. Hannah, it's so good to see you. You know, your little fella has had quite the personality change. He doesn't even come into my lives anymore. It's rare, but who knows? Maybe if you're here, he'll start meowing and wants to come in and see how see who I'm talking to. But Hannah, my dear, it's been forever. How are you? I miss you. So it's good to see you in chat. And let's see, how is your friend Catherine? Your friend Catherine's doing. That lady that read with you. I only remember her by her dealing with headaches. Catherine, I don't know a Catherine that I read with, thankful. Dealing with headaches. I know that Roman has been dealing here and there with migraines, but I'm not sure. Thankful. Do you have the right person? So I'm not quite sure. It could be just a brain fart that I'm having. Maybe it'll occur to me in a moment. But yes, Hannah is dancing soul sister. My soul sisters. Let me hear your flow, sisters. And they're all popping in here. We have Moira as well. We have Glorious as well with her kitty. Thankful is here. So yes, everyone is popping in. Sandy is here. Hello, sir. How are you? Our friend across the pond. I know I have. So I hope you've been well. That life's been a happy new year, Hannah. People I haven't maybe seen yet in my chat. Maybe Sandy. Happy New Year to you, Tercer. I hope everybody had a great holiday as well. Getting started with the new year. And so, yeah, wow. So I brought today, again, for those people coming in, my peeps, excuse me, my Emerald Papyrus, my new brand new decks that I got. It's Egyptian based, and the artwork is just absolutely stunning and beautiful in this deck. And they provide for certain cards an illumination and a shadow. And then for those that I pull that don't, I have my Colette Baron Reed, which is full of light and it just absolutely glows. It's a beautiful, light-filled, positive. I'm not saying the other one isn't positive, but it has a more of a like yummy energy to that one. So I pray I have the right person. She read with you when the shooting happened in New York at the dollar store. I don't think you have the right person, thankful. I can't believe it's been 3 or 4 years, well, more than 3 years. There was a shooting, a mass shooting that made, headline news in Buffalo where a young man went into a Tops supermarket in South Buffalo to shoot as many people of color as possible. That was his goal. And after that, he was going to hit some schools, which one of them was one of the schools that one of my grandnieces and nephews both went to. So Catherine, Kathy I might have been reading with, Brenda. Brenda has a friend named Kathy. I don't read very often with Kathy. So yeah. Let's see. Dancing Happy New Year. Yes, may your year be full of delight and peace. And Devon, UK. There you go. There you go. So, all righty. Well, I'm going to grab a sip and grab my little not cheat sheet here, but my little list sheet for anybody who would like readings. I hope some people would like some readings. I was excited to kind of put this idea together for today. I'm trying to connect more with learning a little bit more about astrology and connecting with the moon. And so I'm starting to pay more attention, and I have this lovely planner that I got. I wish it was a little bigger because there's not a lot of room to really write too many thoughts in, but it's Year of the Witch by Temperance Alden. It's a 2026 weekly planner. It's a little small, not a lot of room to write, but I have been pulling cards from my beautiful um, Seasons of the Witch winter tarot. And oops, everything's sliding. My time right now is 111. Wonderful. Love that. So we were just talking a little bit about Libra. Right now, the quarter moon is heading towards it. It is heading towards the new moon. So when it is in its waning phase, and right now it's at a place where looking for balance. And for those who might be Libras or have Libras in their charts, I'll share this again really quick. It says here it symbolizes balance, which is perfect for the quarter moon. Symbolizes balance, harmony, relationships, and ruled by Venus, the planet of love and beauty. And for those who have any Libra, some keywords that's always fun to share. Diplomatic. They're good at mediating and finding balance within conflicts. They can be charming, attracting others with their pleasant demeanor. Let's see, idealistic. They strive for fairness and harmony and in all aspects of life. Indecisive, I can get that. Tendency to weigh all options. They can struggle with making a decision. We are all crowned by YouTube. Oh, so Hannah, what that is, I don't see that on the StreamYard, but that's something that YouTube is doing. They start ranking people how much you talk to, how much you chat in the chat room, and I think it's obnoxious. I mean, I appreciate every single person that comes in here. Oh, so thankful you are a Libra. All righty. Let's see. Social. They thrive in social settings and enjoy building relationships. Love that. Of course, ruling planet is Venus. Appreciation for beauty, art, and love. And they're compatible with Gemini and Aquarius. And fire signs, Leo and Sagittarius. Well, thankful. That's probably why we get along so well, because I'm a Saggy. So before going through too much, we'll look at here. The scales is linked to Themis, the Greek goddess of justice. So, all righty. So let's put that away. And let's see what we got here. My work year, Heather. So I'll pull cards for Illumination. I'll keep that in mind while I'm shuffling. So let me write Sandy's name down here. And we'll see what the cards have to say and how we can relate that to that. So if anybody else would like, just type in the me. And so, alrighty, let's get I'm going to pull a court card that represents kind of like the significator for everybody who wants a reading. And of course, remember, whatever gender comes up doesn't mean that's the actual gender of the individual. It's the energy that's represented. But with the, I will say with the Emerald Papyrus that I'm using today, it's feminine based. That's the only thing that I was kind of like, I'm a little disappointed in, besides the different, associations where queen is actually knight and all that stuff. But there's no male representation in the court cards. However, again, it doesn't necessarily have to be that. A male can have also feminine quality as well. That's how we stay balanced, just like this time of month with the moon being in its quarter phase. So, all righty. Let's get Sandy. Let's get you going, sir. All righty. So let's put that. And I have my book to be able to share what they offer. that particular card because this is spiritual based. She's very interested in the Akashic records and ancient Egypt and the connection that a lot of people still place upon tarot being connected to ancient Egypt as well. I know there's some discrepancy, and there's always going to be, differing thoughts with different scholars and researchers, but there's still some that feel that they can place a lot of some of the tarot's early meanings to ancient Egypt. So, alrighty, let's see what we got here. Okay, wow, for the year ahead, huh? Let's see what we get. This deck is chunky. I mean, look at that deck. Good Lord. Well, this is interesting. So, okay, so upcoming work year. So we're going to start off with your significator, Sandy, and you got the Priestess of Vessels. And look at that beautiful divine light coming down. It's touching the tip of the pyramid, or is it the pyramid sending up the blue light? We have the Sphinx underneath it. Just a lot of beautiful layering. And again, we have with this one here, it's double. So this is very interesting. It's Libra. Libra is represented by 2 scales. So we have 2 female figures here. So I already like the association or the connection with the month and with the sign that it's in. So in this beautiful book, we will take it. To them, that's that creators feel, and you know what? I'm kind of one of those too. I think that tarot can be brought more into the modern age. It's just sometimes when someone kind of goes far left or far right, whatever, it's just, to me, as long as we can kind of keep the same, like, if someone wants to do a page, like in the Clipper and Read deck, the page, I believe, is represented by the Messenger. It's been a while since I've used, but they change it up. So always got to be on our feet. It's easier, but at the same time, if you take time to learn the cards, but yeah, the queen isn't even the queen in this one deck, but it is what it is. I would love to be able to create, my own, but I'll leave that to other folks. So, alrighty, Sandy, let's see for vessels. Okay, the priestess is referencing to, where is it? Come back here. See, goddess of vessels is the king. You got the priestess. So let's back up a page. Okay, so the priestess of vessels in this deck is the Queen of Cups. Okay, so of course the Queen of Cups, the nurturer. So this is going to be for you. So taking the time right now to, well, first of all, you're a very nurturing individual. You're very empathic and intuitive with other people's feelings and emotions, and you like to be able to be there for people. Someone who's there to give that emotional support. And in this deck here, because we're looking at more of a spiritual aspect to with her cards and her energy, because for me too, this deck can be very much a oracle deck as well. So her keywords here is influences and nurturing. And it's the traditional meanings, of course, an empathic and nurturing soul, embodying spiritual compassion and intuition. So some of the things that are related to it cosmically is the sign of Scorpio, Venus, which is, in Libra, Venus is Libra's planet. So there's a connection there. 8th house, and the year or the season of the year is autumn. The values, the number is 13. Crystals, Sandy, if you're into the crystals, mango calcite, connected to the heart chakra. And so we're going to look at right now the illumination aspect of the priestess of. So for the illumination, tender-hearted, clairvoyant, and intuitive. Signifies a tender heart, representing deep emotional empathy, kindness, and nurturing energy towards others. Um, let's see, highlights clairvoyance, suggesting an innate ability to sense and understand emotions, both seen and unseen, guiding decisions through emotional intelligence and spiritual insight. So, with this upcoming year with work, it feels like you're already tapping into that. You're getting a feel of what this year might be. Um, so, a heightened awareness of one's inner worlds and feelings of others. The shadow aspect that we need to keep an eye on for this card is feeling indifferent, cold, or self-serving. So this is just, what I'm going to share with it, what is its shadow aspect. Um, let's see. I don't see that necessarily with you, Sandy. So it reflects coldness, revealing a tendency to shut down emotionally, possibly as a defense mechanism, leading to an inability to connect with others on a meaningful level. So that's basically the gist of the Priestess of Vessels, or the Queen of Cups. So going into the year, a side of us can be very nurturing, very caring, but at the other side, the more of the shadow side, we have to kind of keep in touch with and keep in check, so to speak, is that sense of feeling indifferent to others. um, Sometimes self-serving can be good for certain situations. Sometimes we have to be more self-serving for ourselves and taking more time for ourselves. So moving on more to the shadow aspect, we have the 10 of columns, which is the 10 of wands. And this card is about burden. And even though it's not showing burden on this person right now, this could be very well, because the 10s are an end of a cycle. Okay. And the 10 of wands, this could be very well working on that, maybe that aspect, the burdens. Maybe these days you are feeling, maybe just because you're so maybe emotionally burnt out, that you tend to maybe lean towards more of the shadow aspect of the Queen of Cups or the Priestess of Vessels, wanting to become more cold. And when I say cold, not necessarily being mean, but just very distant from others, shutting oneself off from others, just doing things more for yourself. But this could very well be being lifted, because with the 10 of wands, we see that this individual doesn't have them on them, you know. So it feels like it's the weight is being released. The wands have been removed, and right now, just walking on, bouncing again on the water and on the earth. So they're again bouncing our emotions on solid ground, knowing what it is that we are going to be carrying or can carry into the new year. But to keep in mind too, the 10 of wands does have to do with a lot of burdens and things. So this year with work, it may become over, there might be a lot more burdens put on you. But I think with the abilities that you have, being able to find time to be able to relieve some of that. This might be looking for another job, or maybe addressing management, maybe trying to get lesser, but that burden, it may be carrying or walking with you. Sometimes too, we have burdens, but we can't see them, because a lot of times we can't see or know what other people are going through without walking in their shoes or in their footsteps. And so for me, this year coming up is looking like there's going to be some burdens, maybe some stresses in work. But again, that Priestess of Vessels, finding that balance with the emotions and with the illuminated part, the nurturing, and making sure that you still, can be compassionate, empathetic to others, but making sure that you give that back to yourselves as well. Hey, Gypsy. So your illumination card is the 10 of air, which is the 10 of swords. So can be another painful card. It's an end of a cycle, typically, because Colette Baron Reed didn't want images that might scare people. So instead of, the traditional body on the ground with the swords. It's looking at feathers here. And what I love about this one for the illumination is that, again, like the 10 of wands, I mean, the 10 of columns or the wands, it's an end of a cycle. So this year, there can also be the end of a cycle of these swords. Thoughts that are weighing you down. Oh, goodness, just feeling like a sense of betrayals, of maybe mental tiredness from work. But it just feels like, you are done in. But with the 10 of, swords or air here is now that we can pick ourselves up. And instead of letting those pin us down like the sword points, here the angel is seeing them as feathers and she's blowing them around. She knows that this is, a time to release that. And again, too, with the swords, it's all about being able to speak and think into manifestation what is that you're no longer willing to accept. And no longer what you're willing to accept, especially thought wise, communication wise. This is, again, both cards are an end of a cycle and the beginning of a new one where new things can change. So right now, I don't do predictive, Sandy. So just looking at the energy right now, it seems kind of heavy, but this is about finding balance. And at some point, I feel like you're going to be able to recognize the patterns and be able to start manifesting, the work, the career, whatever position it is that you want to do, even maybe creating your own business. So, but that's what I have for you. Thank you for letting me read for you, sir. Whoop, did I put that in the wrong pile? Yes, I did. So back over there. All righty. And tens also, the number 10 in the major arcana is the wheel of fortune. So we can always see, again, that wheel is turning. What has not been maybe good in the last year or so, or some as the year's going on, that circle can turn, and we can manifest something positive and bring good fortune into our lives. Remember, we have the power to, be able to, change cards that we see. Like, I love what Jackie B says. She goes, I do not own that card. I do not own that energy. I have the power to say, I see that energy is possible, it's potential, but I have the willpower to say no, and I'm going to change that into more of a positive energy. So that's what I have. And Glorious is here. Hello, Glorious. Good to see you. I don't know if I said hello. So everyone's saying hi. Lovely. You're welcome. And then there's, of course, Miss Gypsy JJ. So I'm going to take a sip. And so far, Sandy was my only request. So if anybody else would like cards, please let me know. I am doing, it's quarter moon. And so the moon is half light and half dark. And so I'm looking at illumination and shadow. What is in the light that we're aware of that we can work on that's a positive. Not saying that the shadow or the dark is a negative, but things that we might need to focus extra on at this time right now during the month. So, alrighty, I have 4 in chat. So yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Hannah? So I'll give it a few more minutes, see if anybody else would like one. If not, I can always do a collective. Okay, Gypsy. Because I don't mind doing collectives. All right, so Gypsy, we're going to pull your significator from the Emerald Papyrus. Alrighty, Hannah. Alrighty, girl. So So just seeing your significator. Ooh, the Priestess of Wings, which I believe is going to be the Queen of Swords. And a collective. Gotcha, Glorious. I'm going to write you down and I'm going to put collective. And that would be for collective. Alrighty. Okay, what is in the shadow we need to bring into balance? And what is being illuminated? Ooh. Okay, I am going to pull a clarifier because you got a major arcana just to get a little idea more. Oh, thank you, Glorious. We are a nice group. I like to keep the energy positive. Oh, and I get another art major. Unfortunately, I had a troll pop in last night, but usually we joke around and say, well, when the trolls start popping in and harassing you, that means you're starting to make it, right? So let me pull my book, Gypsy, because we got a Priestess of Wings, but I want to see what else the author shares. So Priestess of Wings should be the Queen of Swords. It's weird. The queen in here are knights. It's weird. So yes, the Queen of Swords. But here's your card. There you be, the Priestess of Wings, and she's got the ibis birds flying on there because the ibis is associated with ancient Egypt. There we go. So yeah, let's take a look. Of course, influence and astuteness, that's a new word. And traditional meanings, the queen of, or the priestess of swords, or the queen of swords, excuse me, is someone who is very much is strong influence, able to communicate, is a strong communicator. She can be nurturing, but a tough love kind of way. So this is the court card for you, my dear, for this reading. And traditional meanings: wise and perceptive, embodying the importance of truth and clarity in spiritual matters, and actually in all matters as well. Some things associated with her that they're connecting to this deck is the sign of Aquarius, the moon, the 11th house, and the seasons of winter. Let's see, values. Okay, also, the number 13 is resonated with us. Aquamarine, beautiful stone, and the throat. So again, aquamarine, which is a blue stone, which goes for, like it says here, your throat chakra. So if there is any difficulty in speaking, oops, oh my goodness, I hit my thing here again. Okay, so speaking your truth, okay, honey. Using that stone to be able to not be afraid to and you're a musician, so keeping your ability to be able to sing also what you want. And that sounds kind of weird, but not being afraid to write down and to sing and to express yourself. Not being afraid of your own, being afraid of your voice and what it is that you want to share. Let's see, what else does she recommend on here? We already know she represents intellect, discernment, connect to the higher consciousness. The swords are about connecting, communication, so that also connects with our higher selves, piercing the crown chakra. Let's see what else that we might be able to. So looking at here for journal prompting, Subconscious mind is, in what ways can I harness my inner strength and wisdom to guide and protect my spiritual growth? So we're looking more here at our spiritual development, but music to me is very spiritual. It's a creative art. It's something that we connect with through our intuitions, our intuitive self, our spiritual selves. And the inner healing, how can I better cultivate self awareness and nurture emotional resistance? Love that. And there's an evocation for her as well. And it's, I embrace the power of clarity and intuition, cutting through illusions and embracing the nurturing wisdom of the divine feminine. And another thing that, with Queen of Swords is that once you have mistreated her or lied, that's pretty much it. It's like she draws the line, she draws that sword, and she's like, no, once you break my trust, that's it. There's that kind of mentality. She's very sharp and keen on that. That's one of her attributes. So when it comes to illumination, she's about independence, clear boundaries, of course, that communication. She's able to communicate what she will and will not accept, what thoughts also that might come in her mind that might be self-deprecating or self-doubting. She's like, no, no, get rid of that. She doesn't allow others, words or thoughts or actions to throw her off her throne, so to speak. And hello, Country Love Homestead. Welcome. So signifies independence, embodying strength and ability to stand on her own while making decisions based on logic and reason. The shadow, silent, mind over heart, solitude. So the shadow might be her taking more of a time to go into an introspection, which I'm seeing a little bit in your other cards here. So it says here, suggesting an emotional expression is suppressed or that one prefers to keep feelings hidden. So we're just looking at both the light and dark aspects of this court card, Gypsy. And so as we're doing that, we're because we can't have the light without the dark and the dark without the light. So what I'm sharing here are reminders of how we can find that balance during this time of year. So emphasize the solitude, revealing that while independence can be empowering, it may also result in feelings of isolation or loneliness if connections are not nurtured. So what I love about these court cards, it shows us the balance that's within all of us and how we allow ourselves to guide our thoughts and feelings through our actions and connections with other people. So for your shadow card, I got the Tower. So there may be some things that are getting shaken up, having to maybe walk away, rebuild. Not necessarily about relationships, but it feels like an old way of something. This could be with relationships. This could be with your career. This could be on spiritual matters. But the Tower is being hit. In this case, it's the Great Pyramid. And, the energy is going to be shaken up. But it's time to rebuild. And the card I went for a clarifier, I got another major arcana, my girl. You got the Star card. So, even though that tower might have to be rebuilt, it's beautiful because you will have that sense of clarity of thought and decision and connection. And you're going to be able to stay focused on your goals, on your dreams, and things that you hope for. I mean, his eyes are looking up to the stars and not letting that go. And for your illumination, something that is brightly illuminated right now, we have the Four of Water, which is the Four of Cups. And so there may be a sense of feeling of boredom right now, not wanting to, like kind of feeling like, okay, and usually there were cups. Here we have these beautiful little water pearls that she's having. And there are other ones that have been floating around her that were no interest to her, but now one has caught her attention and she's looking at that instead of, the other traditional looking away. There's an acknowledgement now that there is Another cup. There are more emotions, more intuition, more inspiration too, to be had. And this pearl offers her that, and almost like she's scrying inside of it as well. So again, water, the emotions. So if there may be an upset or a boredom with emotions, creativity, time to maybe, shake that foundation loose, knock that tower over, think of it like a Jenga, and how do we rebuild? And you just stay focused on your dreams, my dear, and your goals. And that's what I have for you, JJ. Thank you for letting me read for you. All righty. So let me just cross off names so that I know. And I have Hannah. So Hannah, you're next, my dear. And thank you again, everybody, for joining me. And Country Love Homestead, if you're still here, where are you from? I'm curious also how you came across my channel. I love seeing new people in chat. Okay. So Hannah, I don't know if you know, but I did move. So I drove us last April from New York to Southern Oregon. So now I'm 8 hours behind you guys over instead of 5 in the UK. So I'm so happy that we were able to connect today. Okay, so let's look at shadow work. Or the shadow, things in the shadow. All righty. It's 9 hours? Because Jackie told me I'm 8. So maybe being in Germany, that's another time zone. Let's see, Gypsy. I do love this. My word for now is clarity. And it came many times. And the pearl, oh yes. Okay. Ooh. Okay, for Hannah. Okay. Interesting cards today for a lot of us. So, Hannah, you got the Goddess of Columns. And again, people, there's going to be some nudity. But this is the Goddess of Columns. And I know it's a little hard to see, but she's got a couple of, I can't tell if that's supposed to be jaguars behind her or hyenas, but she's got some fierce cats or even leopards behind her. And of course, the goddess is in this deck considered the knights. No, let's find out what this is what I'm saying. I wish when people create their decks, they try to keep them at least within the same. You know what I'm saying? So the goddess, the goddess. No, so oracle would be a page. The queen would be a knight. The priestess is a queen. Oh, so the goddess is considered the king in this deck. So there you go again, my dear. And we're just going to look. This is your significator. This is your energy. Authority and vision. I like that. Because it's wands. So we've got a king of wands here. So, king of wands, that is the person that people go to. The queens are, the queen of wands are, that charismatic life of the room energy, whereas and more nurturing, whereas the king is the culmination, that whole energy. So we're looking here at the goddess of wands, the king of wands, and that's an individual who can clearly, I hate using the word rule, but they're very grounded. They provide creative insight, inspiration, They're kind of like, I first someone referred to them as like the shakers, the shakers and the movers, also in a way. But they're the ones that people really go to for creative direction and guidance. He's able to balance, because the kings are considered an air, I believe, sign. I'm still learning. And with it being, a fire, that could be an individual who could get very hot and very aggressive. So with this here, that energy is someone who is able to be in control of that. So if there's any conflict or aggression, it's very well controlled in the upright position. And so they know how to direct and manipulate positively their emotions, especially their passion, their inspiration, and being able to come and be able to handle things from a very cool, place, from a cool disposition. So we're going to look more further here. Of course, the sign Aries, Mars, a King of Wands. That's what I got. But in this deck, it's called Goddess of Columns. So columns are wands. So in this deck, the Goddess of Wands is the King of Wands in traditional. But let me go ahead. I love, though, again, authority. This is a person with vision. Aries, Mars, is associated with the first house if you're into astrology. It's connected to the summer. Let's see, Ruby, the heart chakra, numbers 14. So, yes, the exuding charismatic leadership and unwavering confidence. I love that unwavering confidence. I mean, look at her. She's fierce. She's fierce. She's fearless. It's also about encouraging us to lead with authenticity. I love that. Let's see what else is directing me to. So, your evocation or affirmation. I am a visionary who consciously manifest divinely guided visions into reality. So, girl, it looks like you've got some, with this card here, you've got some ideas, you got passions, you want to be able to even, I'm hearing the word delegate, trying to delegate, maybe energy, where you want to direct it. I put a little bit here, I put a little bit there, I want to get this done. And, or I don't know if you are a manager, if you oversee people, but being able to do that from a very positive, inspiring place, and you exuding confidence. And then, of course, with that, you get that respect. So the illumination aspect of this card is authentic, calculated, and motivational. So absolutely environment, motivational. You know how to get people motivated. You know how to inspire people. If like a friend or somebody that's down, they hang out with you, you're able to be able to nurture that, being compassionate, but you get people fired up. You can get them motivated. You can get them excited and inspired. Let's see. Your motivational energy radiates and empowers those around you. I love that. Fostering an environment where creativity and initiative thrive. So I love this card. I mean, I love this, Hannah. The shadow aspect of that could be overbearing, high expectations on ourselves, and ruthless. So this is just looking at the balance, the light and the dark within our significator, within our energy. So moving forward to the shadow work aspect of the reading, the dark half of the moon, I got the Four of Discs. And the Four of Discs is the Four of Pentacles. So I'm getting a sense that you are withholding this. So it's a card typically about people kind of see it as selfishness, like a hoarding card, holding things to yourself, and not, sharing with others or being forthcoming with others. But sometimes we feel like we have to hold certain things to us. That's why with the traditional, I love how it shows like sometimes we have to hold, our cards to ourselves, so to speak, We have to hold, we have to save, we have to prepare. But with the being in the shadow aspect, it almost feels like maybe you're withholding sharing these amazing aspects of that King of Wands, that energy, that charismatic, that creativity, that confidence. It feels like something is holding you back, like you're afraid to share that. The disc, of course, is about stability, security, finances. Um, I don't know if you're holding back from doing something that's inspiring to you or creative to you because of a fear or a sense of lack or afraid of expenses. But in the shadow aspect right now, there is that withholding. And sometimes we need to hold. We need to know when to hold them, when to fold them, when to walk away, when to run. So, in the great words of Kenny Rogers. But yeah, in the aspect, it's acknowledging that you may be holding back from yourself, maybe from others, this beautiful energy that you have from that goddess of columns. Now, is being illuminated is the Eight of Air. And the Eight of Air is the Eight of Swords. Traditional, we see the person blind, loosely blindfolded, loosely bound with swords. And she's afraid to move out of that position. Easily can to slip off the blindfold, loosen those bonds, and just walk right through those swords. So again, there's something that you feel like there's something mentally holding you back. And this is to me something that is being illuminated. I think you are aware of this. And it's something that you're working through. Now, with the Colette Baron Reed deck, instead of being surrounded by swords, again, she's referring to as feathers. And so right now, she's leaning over and maybe afraid to reach for one of those feathers, to grab one of them, because there's a fear of, maybe a mental mentality of, I'm, maybe not good enough. I don't have the proper communication skills. I may not have, I don't have enough clarity, or, just afraid of taking that leap of faith. But there's lots of ways that she can and maybe she's afraid to jump off that cloud because of those other feathers. Maybe she's, saying, well, maybe if I jump off and fly off this cloud, I don't know. It's really interesting how Colette Baron Reed, has her artist design the cards, but she's staying on her cloud. She wants to grab one of those feathers, but yet she's afraid to just fly down and grab them because she knows she's got wings. Okay. She's just afraid to fly. Something's holding her back. Mentally, usually the swords is about mental, not necessarily in mental health, but just maybe concerns, fears, worry, again, that self-doubt. So the reading I'm seeing here, Hannah, is you have all this amazing potential. I mean, you do have all this amazing potential. It's not going anywhere, but there's a feeling right now, the energy of being afraid to maybe express that, showing, people, or maybe even yourself, that you're capable of this creative endeavor, this creativity, whatever it is, and that you are that, and then so much more. So that's what I have for you, my dear. I hope that resonated. And it's so good to see you again. And I still do the Divine Feminine. I know that was the show you would pop in regularly. Nancy's taking a break. Nancy had some health things go on last year. She's starting to slowly come back. So right now I'm still doing the Divine Feminine. It's just a solo act right now, but I'm excited to have Nancy back. So being the passionate leader of my own life, yeah. But not being afraid of expanding that, stepping out of your comfort zone, dear. But yeah. And I know things are tough right now, around the world, not just in Americans sometimes keep thinking, we're the only country that's going through, crap right now with our government. But a lot of people around the world are experiencing a lot of sense of, isolation and concern about finances and surviving and things in that. So it is, I can understand the fear of having to save and hold back and or withhold from others and keep things to ourselves. But you have so much to offer, my dear. Hi, Irene. I hope you're feeling better today. I know you weren't feeling so good yesterday. Yeah, I miss her. I miss my Nancy. Yep, well, I'm still doing it. So if you pop in, we'll say hi. Miss Nancy usually shows up in the chat. But Nancy did another video today, everybody. She did some card pulls for herself and wanted to share with everybody. So she got some beautiful cards today. So if you want to hop over to Nancy's channel afterwards, I think you would love the readings, the cards that she had pulled today that she shared. So Hannah, and then that was the last of my reading requests. So I'll just give it a few more minutes because I've been seeing the fluctuations back and forth. It's so weird how StreamYard shows 6 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, 2 people. And it's kind of like, okay, make up your mind, StreamYard. So, but yeah, I love that. Heather, I need to. Oh, you need to. Oh, I didn't know you were leaving. Aww. So that the last card will be for the collective then. Actually, worse, you're burning up and really achy. Oh, girl, is there any way you could go into a walk-in clinic? Sliding fee scale? I mean, they can't refuse you, can they? I mean, I'm not a doctor, but it sounds almost like flu-like symptoms. If you can barely breathe, you don't want that turning into pneumonia, my dear. Let's see. Hannah says, the reading makes more and more sense. I almost thought Goddess of Calms was too big. Goes well together with Four of Pentacles for withholding. Okay. Alrighty. So I guess I will go ahead and do a collective, and then we'll end the show. Worked a little bit more on my painting that I started with Jonathan yesterday on our show. Thank you again, everybody, for hanging out with us. They aren't going to do anything. See, now here in the States, they can't refuse you. You walk into an ER, especially in New York. Girl, too bad you weren't close to the border where you can come over, visit, and then go into one of our ERs. Oh, really? Okay, so this is going to be well. Look who's here. Sup, bro? Or should I say little bro? How you doing, Tom? I'm doing quarter moon readings today, using my emerald papyrus and doing, like half shadow, half illumination. So let me know if you would like a card or a few cards, my friend. So good to see you in chat. Yeah, Friday last night. I can't remember. Oh, Tom, I must be getting, more into the algorithms. I had a wonderful guest that kept popping up and was the gift that just kept wanting to give. Tarot Destroyer popped back in. And God, what a mess. But I wasn't willing to walk away. I'll take one card. Okay, so I will pull a card from them completely from the Emerald Papyrus that will have an illumination and a shadow. So I will, or I could just do that with, well, Tom, you might get 2. Let's just, because I have court cards separated from for your energy, and then I can then pull that for the week. But that's okay with you. And in this deck, there's no male, so you're going to, ooh, yay, a snake. Alrighty, so if you get the major arcana, well, actually, the illumination will be enough. Trying out new ideas, Tom. Trying out new ideas. And of course, major arcana, because they don't do the illumination for the major arcana and shadow. So, okay, Queen of Discs, which in this deck, Tom, believe it or not, is the Knight of Discs. I'm wondering if she's falling a little bit in the Hermetic, because she mentions Hermetic. So I think, if I remember, in the Thoth tarot deck, they are, or the Thoth deck, that the Knights are considered queens, or the queens are considered the Knight energy. Well, that's what she does here. So you got the Queen of Discs, which would be the Knight of Discs. So energy for this week, let's find out what the illumination and the I'm gonna make sure I give the best reading I can, because this is Tom. Tom's an amazing reader. So this is all about motion and dedication. Nice. So we're looking, this deck looks more at a spiritual, but yes, Knight of Pentacles. So diligence and responsibility this week coming up, looks like, for work. But being able to be diligent with work, and then time for you, Sam, and household. So it's that feeling of taking the time carefully, not rushing forward, deciding certain things, making sure that, I know sometimes we just can't help. We got to work. And like with Selena, I mean, 16 hours a day for her. I know sometimes you go a little longer than that. So really taking measured and deliberate steps here, it says. And it says, too, no matter how small, not to forget a sacred offering to the universe. That's suggested. So the illumination aspect is being methodical, purposeful, and traditional. So disciplined mindset that prioritizes long-term goals over immediate gratification. So you got any like goals coming up this week? I'm seeing good things. I got the Wheel of Fortune. So the wheels turning, things are moving in your direction in a positive manner, but they're acknowledging to make sure that you are taking those baby steps, you're being deliberate, prioritizing these goals that you're having, setting steps up, looking out ahead, being able to plan. It feels like sitting down at a table and saying, okay, we can do this, and then from here we'll move forward. It's like prioritizing, making what is most important right now. How can we achieve? There's something that, I don't know if it's just you personally wanting to achieve, something that you and Sam are working together. But there's a lot of prioritizing because things are moving. You can feel that positive energy moving. You got that Wheel of Fortune spinning for you. Now the shadow aspect. Oh, this isn't you, Tom. Being stubborn. Oh, Hannah, you're sick too. Oh my goodness. So being the stubborn, stagnant, stoic, like I can do this, making sure you're taking care of yourself, Tom. That prioritizing, with it being disc health as well. So I know you're trying to prioritize, making sure enough money for bills, for food, for comfort, but also got to pay attention to that. Pay attention to that health. Indicates the stubbornness, revealing an unwillingness to adapt or change course, which can hinder growth and the ability to seize new opportunities. But it's just enough with the stoicism, really just getting back down to brass tacks, really just taking that time to sit and look at your options, seeing what's ahead, and making sure that are taking care of yourself, really. And I am going to go and be a naughty girl and just pull one more card because I'm doing what's illuminated and what's in shadow, and lies, all lies. A lot of people coming down with stuff. And it sucks with our healthcare system. So Tom, the star card. This has come up a couple times the last few days. The star card. So making sure, my friend, that you are taking that time, that Queen of Discs, actually, that Knight of Pentacles, and really stepping back and start delegating time for you, for Sam, your health, things that are really important. I know work, I get work. But by doing that, you get focused. You can start focusing on and prioritizing goals and dreams and things that you have been wanting to work on, especially with this new year, learning how to maybe stop being stubborn, delegate stuff, stop saying, oh, no, I can do this and do this. I can, yeah. We love them when people could be stoic and saying I can do, but you know what? It's going to be a point where shit's going to hit the fan. And that's why I think this is really coming forward with, and with that snake, oh God, I love snakes, but the snakes are supposed to be healers as well. So kind of watching the snake in the grass, kind of, so to speak. Don't be your own little snake that, talks you out of things that, needs to be prioritized. So like that snake in your saying, well, if you do this, you don't have to, time to shed that skin. But yeah, I did get the Wheel of Fortune too. You may not feel it, but it feels like it's in motion. And it's just, yeah, dude, just keep. Heather's calling me a snake in the grass. You're not you, but we all, come on, we all do it. We self-sabotage ourselves, and to think, that we can force ourselves, into something, or putting things off, and then until it becomes too late that you can't. Shan's an example, and I'll keep my voice down for that. But sometimes we try to be like him, stoic. Oh no, I can handle this. I can do this. We can still, but it's really it's telling you to step back, Tom, and really refocus, prioritize things that you and the missus want to do. Finding a way of being able to cut back on something where there's more time for you both to be able to do things that fully express, that's your soul, that you enjoy, those dreams, those goals you still have. And I like that you got the Wheel of Fortune. Things are turning. Things are, to me, looking in your favor if you would only, prioritize. And that's for, I have been avoiding being sick, thankfully. Yeah, well, we know our diets don't help too. I know, isn't that a beautiful card? I do, like I said, Colette Byrne wanted, her tarot to be very soft and not scary for people, which can be a good thing for certain, readings that you do. But yeah, that star card is beautiful. Yeah. Not to give up on your hopes and dreams. There's a way to do it. Good fortune's coming your way. You just got to learn how to prioritize. And don't listen to that snake in the grass. Whatever that may be. But yeah, that's what I got. And then I can go ahead and do did I do the collective already? No, I didn't. So goodness, Hannah, I hope you feel better too, my dear. Let's see, Heather, love, shadow, and illumination. Okay. See, I wasn't sure. I was kind of like, is this working? I don't know if I pulled the right deck or thought of it out, thoroughly, but I just thought, well, hey, if it works, it works. And then if it doesn't, it's not popular, Heather, don't do it anymore. I love that. Me, stubborn, dies alive. Oh, and you should have been here too last night. Tom, I was pulling animal cards and I got the goat. I got the pan card. I was using Susan Sedan Belay's deck for animals to go with the readings. And I got the goat and I'm reading this. I'm like, oh my God, this is so Tom. I thought I would have manifested you at that moment. But so, all right. Collective sounds good. Heather's going to do a sip. So I'm going to keep the court cards aside. It's going to be a collective. All righty. Well, actually, no, I can do the court cards. Here, let me think about this. So the court card can be the energy, the collective energy of that suit. You're welcome. And the Priestess of Vessels came up again, and she is the Queen of Cups in this deck. I love this deck, Tom, but the only thing is they completely, I swear, inverted stuff. I'm starting to work with this deck. I think a card, one card a day. Let's see. So the Priestess is considered the Queen. That's right. So Queen of Cups. So I'll just leave that open for the affirmation. And we'll pull. Whoa. Okay. The shadow aspect. Wow. I can actually write down here that I write for Tom. Cool. Remember the old saying for seers, when they talked about, the soft lines, they said the softer side of seers, the softer side of tarot. Come up here and read. The softer side of tarot. My dad was a seers man. He had a seers card. All right, so we got a couple court cards. So again, Priestess of Vessels, the Queen of Cups. So for the collective, continuing to be nurturing to others, but also ourselves. Of course, we're not the shadow aspect of that would be being cold, uncaring, unsympathetic. But right now, let's just absorb that energy, that beautiful blue light, be able to start communicating, connecting with our higher selves, trusting our intuition, and nurturing others and ourselves as well. Being able to embrace that. Being balanced in our emotions also. Well, the queens are about, because the queens, this here is water of water. So she's got a lot of that with the moon right now. It's bringing that into balance. They're feeling the energy a little bit more. Because I know with the full moon, that's when the energy of that water really intensifies. So right now, between the full moon and the new moon, we got a nice balance of those emotions. So making sure that while we're nurturing others, that we nurture ourselves as well, and to trust in our intuition, the messages that we receive, and also being inspired. Cups is also a card that connects to your well of emotions, that's connected to our creativity, our art, things, how we express ourselves. So in the shadow aspect, I have the Two of Vessels, the Two of Cups. So again, moving forward in our relationships, especially our close personal relationships, especially too also with ourselves, the Two of Cups. And with it being in the shadow aspect, making sure that we are giving as much as we are receiving. Making, for the a shadow aspect of the Two of Cups can be, like a reversal. Like there is a lack of emotional communication with ourselves, with others. There's like, or an emotional manipulation. So making sure that we watch that we're not emotionally manipulating ourselves or others. And when we have those kinds of emotions that come up that are uncomfortable, that we are able to be able to get grounded enough to recognize that and to sit down with them and have to write them out, but not to react to them, if that makes sense. But for me, this is a beautiful card of reminding us of keeping our emotions, especially with our loved ones, balanced and harmonious. Um, and also, again, though, being mindful that intuition, if something, not feeling right, something isn't adding up, um, to be able to take that emotional step back and retreat for a bit, for the shadow aspect of relationships. Moving forward in the illumination, and this card, I mean, in a couple of weeks, we're going to have in bulk, we're going to have candle mass, and that's traditionally how, a lot of people celebrate with the crowns of candles, especially it's the Christian version of in bulk. And this is the messenger of fire. And if I remember correctly, the messenger of fire in her deck are like the knights. So this is a well, let's combine it like to me, I'm feeling more like a page, because pages are the messengers. So I'm going to stick with the page instead for now. So it's about creativity. It's about connecting and harnessing our creativity, finding that balance, between again, with our emotions. This could very well be the dark aspect or shadow aspect of the Two of Vessels, is our own personal relationship with our creativity, with our own souls, and how we want to be able to express ourselves creatively, being inspired. Also, what balances these two out, again, the fire, our passions, sometimes our creativity, our passions, our inspirations. We can get sometimes to the point where we get a bit what? Hot-headed, so to speak. So looking at that and finding a balance where we're staying, emotionally, we're in an emotionally good place, balanced, being able to direct that fire energy of that inspiration that we get. I mean, we have the Priestess of Vessels, so we're nurturing those aspects of ourselves, this quarter moon. And so, yeah, that's what I have. And whew, my door's closed and the heat's on. It is warm. But Tom, oh my God, we've got beautiful weather again. We didn't get the snow on the ground, but we are having beautiful sunshine and mist and stuff in the clouds. So it's very, very lovely. So, hey, Kristen, didn't know you were going to be on. I decided to do, because today's the quarter moon, I decided to pop on and try something called illumination and shadow readings using that emerald papyrus and my Calibrian reed decks. Let's see. All righty, me too, Tom. Let's see, what's this here? Let me back up. Okay, I just did the collective. Does anybody remember the funny snake in the old Disney movie Robin Hood? Completely drunken in a barrel of wine. Yeah, I barely, but yes. Oh my God, that's funny. Tom, don't become that drunken snake in the barrel. Good. That's an image I can't get on my head now. Oh yeah, I can't deal when they make up their own system and it doesn't correlate. Yeah. It's like just make it an oracle, you know. Let's see, Hannah's agreeing with you. So yeah, those old movies. So Country Love Homestead. So you're still here. Would you like one? Of course. I have time for another one. Kristen. All righty. So let me just take a sip of water. Let me put a little bit more of my essential oil that Shan bought for me for my birthday, that indigo blush. Oh my God, you guys, this stuff smells so good. It's got a touch of rose, patchouli, and tobacco in here. This is beautiful. I don't drink enough anymore because of that. Whoops. No, I was just playing with you. Sir Hiss. Oh, oh, Hannah, you just started something, girl. Tom's going to be like, oh, hell no. Oh, no. Okay, so country, love homesteads. I'm just going to call you country. I don't know your name, but welcome. Let's see what we get for you. And this will have to be here. There's the last one, I think. So Oracle of Wings. Ooh, so the oracles are, I believe, the pages in this deck, which is the Page of Swords. Ooh. Okay, there is the shadow aspect. All righty. Sir Hiss. Oh, that was his name. Oh, my goodness. Yes. I don't like snakes. I don't like spiders and snakes. Actually, I don't mind the spiders. It's the snakes. Yeah, there you go. I had to go toss aside a crochet toy thing that I had made. I was trying out a stitch, and I tied it off and I gave it to Mozzie to play with. I had to toss it off, get rid of it, because it ended up curling, and on the ground it looked like a freaking snake on my floor. And I was like, no, not going there, not doing that. So country, it's always nice to read for new people. Let me pull out my book, share the information that she has. So the Oracle of Wings. So where do they have her wings? Wings. This is a brand new deck. Still getting used to it. So this is, yes, the Page of Swords. So before hitting the book, the Page of Swords are people who very much, they're messengers. This could be a message. And the Swords is about communication, clarity, new ideas. And with the Page of Swords, that's like a younger, youthful energy. And it doesn't have to mean that this has anything to do with ageism. This is just the energy of something that's new, that's bright and shiny, like new ideas, new ways of seeing things, new clarity, new ways of, communicating that sense of one, oh, I have to prove myself. I'm excited about something like this. So that's like your traditional, typical Page of Swords. And so for this deck, again, curiosity. They're also very curious because the pages, they're younger. That's the connection of that childlike wonder and curiosity and excitement for the world. So that's your significator. I love that card for you. And the traditional meanings are a messenger of intellectual curiosity, encouraging a quest for spiritual knowledge and growth. And that is the ibis there on the front. And so this connects with all air signs. So air signs are, if I remember correct, this is what always gets me. I'm never good with the air signs. The air signs would probably be what? Gemini, I think. Maybe Libra. And I think Virgo or Aquarius. So someone will have to help me out. But this has to do with all air signs connected with a planet, Saturn. And Saturn can kind of be a rough, but it's kind of like that, again, the tough love kind of planet. Connects to the crystal citrine, if you love crystals, and the solar plexus, which is our seat of power. It's the color. It's like right under your breastbone. It's where we stand in our power, where we hold our power, where we walk with confidence. And when that's in balance, it's a healthy dose of ego and a sense of, self-esteem, sense of self-confidence. Hey, Jackie, and Miss Jackie B, you're nasty. So Jackie did her first live. Yay. So everybody make sure you also subscribe to Jackie's channel. So when she does her next live, you can catch that and get a reading from her. And Tom has a channel too if you want to subscribe. Don't know when he's going to do anything, but when he does, it's very interesting deck reviews, and he's a very excellent reader and artist. I've seen his artwork, so be sure to also Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Hey, I got it right the first time, sort of. I wasn't sure about the Virgo, Aquarius, but thanks, Hannah. So let's see what she wants to share in this book. Well, there's an evocation, so country, an evocation or like an affirmation. And it says, with an open mind and curious heart, I explore the realms of wisdom and expand my understanding of the world. So I love that. You have this very curious, lighthearted, childlike wonder and excitement about the world. I love that energy. So we're going to, and the illumination and shadow aspects. So the illumination is about intellectual growth, mental exploration, and having new perspectives on things in life, except procrastination. There you go. And the shadow can be impulsive, abandonment, or immaturity. So with any page with it being in, you're going to have, that childlike, tantrums or immaturity. But right now, with this being this balance of with the quarter moon, it feels very balanced right now. So we're going to look at the shadow aspect. And you did get the 5 of wings, which is the 5 of swords. And that 5 of swords represents, those battles. I'm going to say my dear, because that's how I usually, those battles where, we just know it's like, do we want to fight it? Do we want to have the last word? So that's where we're kind of tapping into the negative aspect or the shadow aspect of the oracle or the page of swords. And again, just because something is dark, it's not that it's bad. It's just the energy that we need to learn to work with, because we can learn and grow so much from our shadow selves, our shadow aspects. And so right now, the shadow aspects going on in your life is this 5 of swords, which is about, arguments, battles, disagreements, and instead of, trying to have the last word, trying not to have the last word or be the right one and have to be the winner. The card typically recommends just, walking away, cutting one's losses. Hey, Judith. And basically not messing with no drama. I don't want any drama. I've had enough. And just like in this card, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see the footsteps. They have walked away. They are on their own. They decided, I am not going to be a part of this drama. I am removing myself. And that's what they did. They walked off and they're looking at the horizon, moving forward. So your illumination aspect is the King of Earth, which would be the King of Earth. And the King of Earth is a provider. I just love his face. He just is so welcoming, almost kind of like a Santa in a way. But yeah, he's the aged aspect of the wild masculine, divine masculine in nature. And the King of Earth, again, the quartz doesn't have to represent an actual gender. So this could very well be, your energy as well. But the King of Earth energy is somebody who is very well grounded. They're responsible. They are the providers. They make sure that people are fed, people are happy, people are taken care of, that their needs are met. And again, the Earth, the Pentacles, is that sense of security, stability, abundance, and being able to share that abundance when they can with others, and just having a very deep connection to Earth and to nature. And also the Earth Pentacles has to do with health as well. And of course, I'm not a doctor. So I always tell people entertainment purposes only, these readings. So the Earth represents health as well, making sure that our health is looked after, that it's good, that it's thriving, and just being very grounded in oneself and being able to give, to nurture, and take care of. So beautiful cards Country, thank you for letting me read for you. Again, it's always nice to have new people to read for. That yeah, was a very interesting quarter moon reading. But yeah, I think this can go as a collective for all of us too. Making sure, is that argument worth the fight? Sometimes it is. Sometimes we're meant to stay there and to dig our heels in and to fight for what is right, that we know is right. But we know, especially with that shadow aspect, when it's like, nah, time to walk, no drama llama, so to speak. So, but yeah, that's what I have. And hi, Judith. How are you, my dear? So I hope that resonated with you, country. Hope to see you back again. And for, people who watch or new or coming to my channel, please subscribe if you're drawn to, if you like my readings. And if you can, a few words after the show in the comments helps me with the algorithms. I've been getting new people. And of course, unfortunately, the trolls. Oh, Jackie B. Tarot Destroyer popped in last night. Oh, that was a blast. I just kind of try to laugh along with it and just like, hey guys, come on, help me. Let's get rid of the comments. But that pesky Tarot Destroyer, no matter how many times banned from the channel, they found a way back within a few seconds. But, Miss Nancy told me this morning, well, that's a sign that shows that you're starting to make it again. I'm like, I guess so. But it's good to see you, Jackie. I hope you're having a beautiful weekend so far. Jackie, do you have any lives planned? Repent. Oh, I can't do that on YouTube. I was going to say, you know how I can repent, right? But yeah, I don't know. It was just Tom was just very suspicious to me after all this time. And then I went on, yeah, never mind. But yeah, I missed it last night. Yeah, Tom, you would have had, been cleaning the floor with this person. Probably have a bunch. Yeah. But I have my suspicions about certain individuals, not specific individuals, but, Heather doesn't shy away, but it just feels like someone very closely associated with our community, our niche of our community, that I think just likes to, be an ass sometimes. And yeah. Mm-hmm. Wink, wink. Not saying it's Tom. Tom would never. Lies, all lies. Right, Tom? We will leave it at that. Yep. And oh, what's this? What's this? What's this? I'm working on doing a solo live for readings. Oh, before Thursday. Jackie, hit me up, message me so I know, and I'll be there. Unless I have an appointment, because we got a couple appointments this coming week, but I'll be there. Can't do Michael Jackson. No one can ever do Michael Jackson. No, wish I was. So, alrighty. I don't see any other requests. Judith, I'm going to end the show, but I was doing illumination and shadow readings. So if you want one, let me go. Let me know. If not, I will go. And I did a community one. No, I did a collective one just before countries. Yep. Yep. And like Tom said, he will leave it at that. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, There's a lot of unfortunate things that go on. And I've been in several circles. Okay. Yes, because I would love to be there if I can. You're always here, Jackie, supporting me and my shows, that I just want to be able to do the same for you, girl. And you'll be simulcasting. Okay. Wonderful. I'm good. Alrighty. So if Judith, if you're interested, there was last reading I just did was for country, and the one before that, if you want to back it up afterwards, that would be for the collective. And alrighty, everybody. So I hope everyone has a great rest of your weekend. I will be back tomorrow for my poetry. I love sharing the poetry. I got a couple pieces that I want to work on for tomorrow to share. And yeah, I'm still trying to figure out things for the Sacred Feminine on Monday. But everybody, enjoy your day. We got beautiful mist and sun and just love, love, love. I know. And you write poetry, and the stuff you share in chat is awesome sauce. Tonight you will be on Slumber Party. Alrighty, I'll have to. I don't think I'm subscribed. For some of my major fellow readers who have a lot of, and they do, well, have a lot of subscribers and do a lot of political readings. I just can't subscribe because my inbox just gets hit left and right. And so I try to keep up and remember and write notes to be able to show up. So tonight I will go to Sherry's channel, and I will hit that and see if I can pop on and say hello. I only write poetry in the chats of well, it's an honor. Thank you. I appreciate that. Alrighty. Yeah, that's why if there's like new channels, I try to keep my subscription in there for as long as I can. Because then once they start getting up to the higher numbers and the thousands, I'm like, okay, because I get hit. And then unfortunately, sometimes they'll, put subscription only. And then I'm like, oh, shoot. But I just can't be hit all day long. I just can't make the shows. So I try to do what I can, when I can, where I can. So, alrighty. Yes, bye, Hannah. It was good to see you again, my dear. Guten Abend one more time. I hope you're having beautiful weather in Germany. I'm sure it's gorgeous this time of year there with all the snow and the mountains and trees. And I hope you feel better, my dear. I really do. And the same thing to you, Irene. I hope you feel better soon, my dear. And alrighty, everybody. We will see you next time. Have a great rest of your day.